is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. Making their way to the ring.
So last time we seen Abby was after her birthday party where she scored her first victory at Camp Leapfrog, which entitles her to a future title shot against a very good professional wrestler. And since then, Big Dan Champion has been taking her under his wing to try to prepare her for that opportunity.
And that's a mighty large wing as Big Dan Champion, the largest man in all of Camp Leapfrog, the proverbial 17-year camper, if you will.
Absolutely.
As Big Dan Champion looking to continue to preside over Leapfrog. Oh, he grabs the mic from Sam Leterna.
Buns are hard.
We're live, pal.
Abby, just like I said 3 weeks ago on the VSW podcast, you're going to learn so much with tag team with Big Dan Champion. Let me tell you who some of my former tag team partners are. A very good professional wrestler. Your champion, my champion, your champion. JC Ryder. For your time, but JC Ryder is my tag team partner, and if it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be where he's at today. So today here in crappy New Jersey, which I hate, we're gonna beat Pancakes, we're gonna beat Crusher, and I'm gonna show you how real champions win. And then maybe one day you'll get your shot against a very good professional wrestler. Shut your mouth! No! Yay!
And their opponents.
We're gonna win that.
And here come Crushcakes, much to the delight of this crowd here in Williamstown, New Jersey.
And before the action gets going here and gets real big, Dan already said he was on that podcast, but our sponsor for this one is going to be the VSW Podcast. Check them out on all social media, including Twitter, at VSW Podcast.
And of course, Abby Jane's profile growing so great here at Camp Leapfrog. She is brought to you in this match by Daryl Apparel.
Looking fantastic.
Indeed she is, as this should be an interesting tag team bout, with Camp Leapfrog senior official Chris Levin assigned to this contest.
If Daryl Apparel's listening, we need some Big Abby shirts. I'm just saying.
Bell sounds we're underway, and it's time for Big Dan Champion and the Crusher to hook it up. Will Big Dan be crushed, or will he continue
She wants to test the strength there.
I don't know if this is the exact route to go, but we'll see how it all pans out. And Big Dan Champion, some low-hanging fruit right there, throwing that knee right to the midsection. Utilizing his size right out of the gate, goes for a big splash in the corner.
She's crushing his head.
And the Crusher absolutely crushing Big Dan Champion here. Certainly that's a big customer to crush, if you will. And a series of, looks like axe handle blows, doing a semblance of damage to Big Dan.
Well, for how big Dan is, you can't really focus on a limb or an arm or a leg because they're about as big as redwood tree trunks. So the best opportunity to do is hit him in the head.
Big Dan Champion about 6'6", 285. Pretty tough to find the size of someone like Big Dan Champion at Camp Leapfrog.
All right, we get Pancakes versus Abby here.
Two new competitors mixing it in here in this tag team bout. And you have to wonder, Anthony, has the influence of Big Dan Champion, has that overcome everything that we're seeing from Big Abby Jane?
Well, listen, it's got to be playing on her mind. Like, if she wants to win a championship, she's got to have to change up something, right? Because she's been winless until teaming up with Hollow Kid and Ultramanus Black here at her birthday party.
But, of course, we have to remember she does things on the up and up with all of the integrity. Sometimes Big Dan Champion might want her to go a different direction. We'll see how that plays out here at the Trail Mixer.
Well, one of her partners you don't see ringside, and that's Abs.
Indeed, Abs possibly coming to us a little bit later on in that Camper's Choice Trail Mixer, but we shall see if we see an appearance from Abs here tonight in Williamstown, as Pancakes right now doing a great job grounding his opponent. As Crushcakes looking pretty solid here in the opening few minutes. Off the ropes. And Pancakes once again utilizing his size to take down Big Abby Jane.
Kris right on the action, making sure there's no shoulders down.
As Pancakes looks to bring Abby Jane right back into his corner. There's a roll-up one and a quick roll-up attempt to no avail for Abby Jane. And Pancakes pushes her right off. Off the ropes he goes. Arm drag takedown. Pancakes charges right back in. And an arm drag of the Mexican variety here.
Yeah, they're flying all over the place.
Abby Jane's going to run him to the ropes. O'Connor roll attempt. Pancakes puts on the brakes. Hip lock takeover attempt to the outside. Nice job by Abby Jane to block it with a arm drag takedown of her own.
They both thinking the same thing there with the kick and caught each other. Oh, this is not going to bowl well.
A sign of sportsmanship here, but that's not what Big Dan wants to see inside that ring.
He doesn't want to see big hugs. He wants to see big punches thrown.
Big Dan, a little old school, doesn't necessarily do things the way that they're done these days.
I believe he said to her, he goes, "This is why you don't win. You're not getting tough." Yeah, it's interesting to see how this plays out. You
can see the attitude coming out on full display here by Big Dan Champion. And Big Dan has Pancakes in the far side corner, the Irish whip to the near side buckle. He comes in, and that's 285 pounds just crushing Pancakes in the corner.
This guy really hates hugs. That switch turned on quick.
At Camp Leapfrog, it's pretty difficult to hate hugs.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're Big Dan Champion, you find a way to persevere. As Pancakes here, firing back with a series of blows, but just not enough. As Big Dan Champion has Pancakes, suplexes him up and over. Here's a cover one, and Chris Levin says it's only one. And Champion looks to make the tag back into Big Abby Jane, and I don't know if she wanted to enter the match in this circumstance here. And instead of punching Pancakes, she goes for a roll-up attempt.
Yeah, she brought him into the headlock and then brought him down with the roll-up instead of taking the easy punch.
And there's a big strike by Dan Champion. Chris Levin didn't see it. He's going to get the tag right back in. And you can see the frustration really starting to set in on Abby Jane. This is not her game plan.
No, she definitely wants to let her skills speak for herself and win matches. But a very good professional wrestler and his crew with Big Dan and Travis Huckabee have been telling Abby the entire time that has not been working for her and she needs to change it up.
She wants to utilize integrity. Sometimes integrity does not translate to championship gold.
Absolutely. Being the ray of sunshine isn't always going to get you anywhere.
We'll see if she can overcome the odds, but right now, Big Dan Champion, his game plan, whether you like it or not, Anthony, it's working here at the Trail Mixer.
He's doing a fantastic job. I do not want to be Pancakes right now.
As you see, Big Dan Champion choking away on Pancakes on that middle rope, and Abby Jane not too happy with the breaking of the rules here.
Big Dan calls the shots. Yeah.
And Big Dan Champion says he calls the shots. This is a tag team bout. They're equally involved. And Big Dan on the outside. Here comes the Crusher in there with Big Abby Jane, and she's left for dead.
I'll tell you what, this is a great opportunity for Abby, because I'll tell you who's not going to hug and handshake her, and that's the Crusher.
And the Crusher right now, crushing the competition as Abby Jane hung out to dry by her tag team partner, leaving an opening for Crushcakes.
Very interesting dynamic between both tag teams where Pancakes and Abby are very big sweethearts, and Crusher and Dan just want to hurt people.
There's a lateral press by Crusher, and Big Dan Champion makes the save, and you have to wonder, was he trying to protect Big Abby Jane or simply not just trying to take an L right here on IWTV?
Probably a little bit of both, but when he lined up for that kick, I thought our fans in the front row were going to get a souvenir.
As Big Dan Champion, the Irish whip there to the far side, buckle for Pancakes. And Pancakes finds himself on the shoulders of Big Dan Champion. That's a long way to come down. Dan turns him around, and Pancakes somehow gonna wrangle Big Dan down. There's an enziguri, has Big Dan stumbled, and a big super kick.
Still not down yet.
He might be out on his feet here, Anthony. And a Superman punch, and Big Dan's reeling against the ropes. If this was CFU in a little while, we might be talking about a TKO.
Absolutely.
But here we go, trying to suplex Big Dan up and over. I don't know if you could suplex Big Dan Champion.
He's got to eat a lot more pancakes to get that weight up to get that suplex accomplished.
In the wheelbarrow position, and Dan Champion with a German release suplex out of the wheelbarrow position. Lateral press, hooks the outside leg, and Chris Levin once again says it's only 2.
That would have put me out. That German suplex was violent.
And Big Dan might be calling for it here. And that's sit out Uranagi. 1, 2, and the Crusher breaks it up. And Big Dan, he says that's going to be all. But if you notice, once again, Anthony,
he's
not making the tag into Abby Jane to end things.
He said, screw this, and he went and got a chair.
He grabs the chair. Chris Levin trying to restrain the Crusher here. Abby Jane's got the chair. She doesn't want to use it, Anthony. You can tell this is not a part of her game plan. As Chris Levin getting rid of the chair here. Wait a minute. Big Dan Champion, some sort of ceremonial salt or powder or something. Taking a page out of the Fuji playbook. There's Abby Jane. There's a cover, and she's going to get the win.
There it is. Abby Jane is starting to realize now that there was powder thrown in his face.
And Big Dan Champion stomping away here on Pancakes post-match. Abby Jane and Dan Champion get the victory, but certainly not the style of victory that Abby Jane was looking for here at the Trail Mixer.
As of since her birthday, she is 2 wins consecutively in tag team action. So she's teaming up with the right people, getting the right maybe counsel to put her in a good position in the future.
So once again, you have to take a look at things here, Anthony. The victories don't come the exact method that Abby Jane was expecting. But as you said, 2 consecutive victories. A win is a win.
Absolutely.
Abby Jane's on a winning streak whether she likes it or not here at Camp Leapfrog.
Yeah, when you see stat lines and wins versus losses, they don't say exactly how it went down. It just says W and L.
As Dan Champion coming in the ring, you want to talk about the bully of Camp Leapfrog.
I know, Tommy's just trying to do his job in there.
The 18-year-old 9th grader, Dan Champion in there. So right now, as the ring is getting cleared up, Anthony, we're set for our next bout. You might want to hit your delay button. You might want to hit your mute button because the words might be flying when CC Boost and Jet Jagori hook it up here at the Trail Mixer.
Yeah.
Look at this. Get your scout badge today. And remember, guys, anytime you support us here at Leapfrog, it all goes back into our project here to say grassroots pro wrestling promotion. We need your support.
Yeah, what she was just saying is on sale here at the arena is these amazing scout badges. Look at these things. These are beautiful.
Dan Champion has about 20 of them.
Yeah, that looks good. I got my commentator's badge today.
You've graduated, my friend.
I know. I'm doing all right. Tommy Vex doing a beautiful job. That ring looks like it's brand new.
Yeah, Tommy.